a young boy, he was known as a prodigy. He learned by his father. His name was Rabbi Isaac Halevi Herzog. Eventually, he became the first chief rabbi in Israel. He took over from Rab Kook, who died before it became a state, and he took it over. He was the first chief rabbi. The Haskamas Rab Chaim Oizer recommended him. He was such a brilliant mind, but in Torah he was known to be tremendous. He said once about himself that until 60 years old, he didn't know what the word shikha meant. At 25 years old, he was studying in university in London. And he was tremendous, like I said, Chochem b'mada. He had degrees in mathematics and Oriental languages. His son said about him that he was fluent in 12 languages. He once came, just to show you his shtickle, what his godless was, he once came to the yeshiva of Gateshead in England. It was in the 50s probably. And the Rosh Yeshiva got up to be mechaber him to speak. And he said that the Rambam says that a roye chochom michachme Yisrael oimer baruch shecholak michachmasai lireyav. If you see somebody who's such a massive tam chacham out of the ordinary, you make a special bracha. Haroye chochom michachme umes ha'olam oimer baruch shecholak michachmasai libasar v'dam. He says we have over here a Talmud Chacham Muflig. He's also in Mada, in Chachmas Chitzainis. What bracha do we make on him? Do we make a bracha of Roya Michachmasai Michachmasai Lireya or Shechalak Michachmasai Libasar V'dam? That's how much they held. He was such a brilliant mind and such a Chacham. There's a very sharp word that I heard over from Reb Chaim Yitzchak Kaplan, B'Shem Rav Hutner. Very sharp line about that Maisa, but not for now. In 1913, he was writing his doctoral dissertation, and what he wrote it on the topic of the dyeing of purple in ancient Israel. He wrote 200 pages of research, and he was very fluent in Roman and Greek literature, in archaeology. And he started going very much into the Radziner Techeles. At the beginning, it seems that he wanted to be mechazik it to prove it. And then he had too many kashas from Chazal, from the Gemara, that didn't stim with the cuttlefish that the Radziner chose. And then he decided to slug it up. You have to be 100% certain. And he was in contact, he was corresponding with the dyers of the Radziner dyers. And he asked them to send him a sample of the tzitzis that's dyed with the Techeles, of the Radziner Techeles. And they sent him some samples, and he sent it off to a lab in Germany. The scientist, who was a chemist, he was known, mamish a Weltische chemist, and his expertise were in dyeing, but not stam dyeing, but dyeing the color indigo, which is blue. This doctor, his name was Paul Friedlander. He sent him a sample of these Techeles, and he got back a letter that he couldn't believe. In the letter he writes him back, he says, this is from a cuttlefish, but the dye that colors it blue is Prussian blue. What does that mean? Prussian blue means it's synthetic. That means that the color that's on the beged has nothing, absolutely zero to do with the dam of the philosophy, but it has to do with the other chemicals that they mixed in, and it's a fake. You could do many things in a lab, and you could turn anything into anything in any colors, but it's not a natural color in any way. Couldn't believe it. So he sent off another sample to France, to a lab in France, where over there they manufactured clothing. It was a very hershfeld fabric. And he sent it off to them, and he sent off also another sample to England, to a lab in England, and all three came back with the identical answer, that this is Prussian blue. You can take, as a matter of fact, basically what it is they mixed together the dam of the cuttlefish, which was black, and he asked when he heard all these things, he sent back to the dyers of Radzin and he asked them how they do it. What do they do? What do they put into it? And it was this bar, exactly like the chemist said. If you take iron and you take potassium, it's potash, it's a compound of potassium, and you mix those two together and you cook it up with any protein-based liquid, anything. Rabbi Herzog said you could take blood of an ox. You could take a piece of gefilte fish. If it has protein in it, and you mix it and you cook it together with iron and with potassium, you're going to end up with a blue color, and it's called Prussian blue. It's not real. The blue has zero to do with the dam chilazon. And that's talking with exactly what the chemists told him. He found out from the Radziner, from the dyers, that that's exactly what they do. They didn't understand what they were doing. They followed the instructions to the T of the Radziner. And he was already corresponding with the son, with the Techeles Yosef. And in essence, he said it's inconceivable. It's not shaykh that the Torah should be makbid on the dam of a chilazon, and it has to be only the dam chilazon. And in effect, the dam chilazon has nothing to do with the color that's being on this beged. And you can take anything. And so therefore he felt that it's not shaykh. It's not shaykh that it's the dam chilazon. Now, versteht-sich, the reason why they were misled was because the Radziner said that the dyes, these chemicals were clear, and one of them, the potassium, was white. So he said if you have something clear and something white, that in itself cannot give a color. So it must be that it's just fixing up the dam chilazon, but in essence the dam chilazon is what's coloring it. In essence, that wasn't really what happened. Although the Gemara does say, the Gemara says in Menachos, Omar le Abaye l'Rab Shmuel bar Rab Yehuda. Rab Shmuel bar Rab Yehuda was an Amoyer who lived in Eretz Yisrael. Abaye lived in Bovel. The dyeing, the chilazon, the dam chilazon was produced in Eretz Yisrael by the yam. They got the fish, they got the chilazon from the yam. And Abaye was in Bovel, and here he has an Amoyer who came from Eretz Yisrael to Bovel, and he says, Hi Tchelta, this Techeles, heichi tzavisu l'chu. How do you dye it? He wasn't familiar with the dyeing process. Omar le, he said to him, My sinon dam chilazon. You bring the dam chilazon. V'samim monim. You have to bring chemicals, herbs. You have to. The chilazon itself will not attach itself to a beged. It won't become Techeles. You bring my sinon dam chilazon v'samonim. V'shadinon liyoira. You put it into a vat. Umar techinon, and you have to boil it up very much in order to get the color, which was exactly what the Radziner did. He took some monim. As a matter of fact, the Radziner was very careful. The chemist told him different ways to make it blue, and he said he only will use chemicals that were known for fact, that were aware and that the Chachamim had in the times of the Chazal. Because the only thing that he used that was newer invention was to rush up the process, to hurry up the process. But as far as the actual samamonim that made it into blue, he only used iron, potassium, and maybe a few other things that were known to have been existing in the times of Chazal. But Lamais is what it seems, what he wasn't aware of is that this chemist, when he duped him, he told him that he would make blue out of it. He taka made blue out of it, but it had nothing to do with the dam chilazon. And so Rabbi Herzog had to discover a new one, which Mitzvah he did come to some other maskana.